What is the separation of church and state? This has been an ongoing social issue for decades, but once you ask a common American where this is located in our legal documents, they're unable to answer. I want to ask you the question now. Where do we find the separation of church and state? A. The Declaration of Independence. B. The Constitution. C. The Bill of Rights. Or D. All the above. If you chose A, you're...
Right? Wrong.
But wait, if you chose B...
Wrong. Wrong.
And of course, if it's not those two, it must be C.
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. You're wrong.
It's actually a trick question. It's none of the above. Now that we established that none of our documents mention the separation of church and state, I want to discuss some of the social issues that have become front-page headlines. One being the Pledge of Allegiance and its mention of God. This simple three-letter word offends many people, but we fail to see the big picture.
Say what?
Let's take a deeper look at the Pledge of Allegiance. Take the word allegiance, for example, is the loyalty or devotion of a citizen to his or her government. It then states the government in which we follow, which is the Republic, which we should be thankful for, that we are able to voice our opinions and vote on who our president would be. We are also stating that we live in a nation that is not separate but united, how we are able to have our freedom from external or foreign rule. In other words, we are remembering those soldiers who fought for our independence in the American Revolution. The pledge also states how we have a just and fair system. Now, if people want to forget everything else the Pledge of Allegiance stands for because God is mentioned, then they can go right ahead and not put their hand over their heart and be respectful. Now look at our military men who fight for our freedom and take an oath regardless if they believe in God or not. Oaths that are taken is a solemn appeal to a deity or to some revered person or thing to witness one's determination to speak the truth, to keep a promise. I, name, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies,
Foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same.
And that I will obey the orders
of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers
appointed over me, according to the regulations
of the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
So help me God. Another big issue is our currency and the fact that "In God We Trust" is on it. Throughout the years, there had been many different ways to word the motto, but it always included God. It went from our country, our God, our trust, to our God and our country. So the motto we go by today and the national motto since July 30th, 1956, "In God We Trust." As you can see, each motto that was being created kept God within it. While through the years, the motto did not agree with many people, it was never a matter in which they were to change or remove the motto from the coin until recent years. Those who go against the motto, "In God We Trust," are only against it due to the fact that it mentions God. But then we must be able to look back on history and remember where it came from and why it happened. The way we live life today is based off history, and now that times are changing, people feel as though we should change with them. An anonymous author wrote, "It is our firm belief that it is unconstitutional to force one's thoughts of God or a God upon another American. We have the right to religious freedom as well as the right to freedom from religion. People are arguing that because God is on the money that the government is enforcing religion on Americans, which is not true at all. The truth of the matter is that this model represents what America has gone through in the past, and it is not whatsoever enforcing a certain religion, but just enforcing remembrance of the past of America."
And just in case you're wondering, in 1802, President Thomas Jefferson wrote to the Danbury Baptist Association that the First Amendment had built a, quote, wall of separation between church and state. And that's where the famous phrase comes from. Class dismissed.